The best fighters fight the best, and we're gonna be ranking them according to what level of privilege they have, which is crazy.
Pretty much he's gonna make you his
Aldo Cortez Acosta, Mr. Papi, I know black, I Dominican.
I feel like one loss is gonna put him into irrelevance.
Tallison Teixeira as someone who's meant to be pushed, although he has great skill.
He would have got him into the UFC faster.
But I still like Tallison. I still think he has a bit of work to do. I think it rubbed the UFC the wrong way.
Talk about that boy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another U3 Media video. With you as always is Khaled.
Sanjay back in the building, baby. Just the usual.
And you got Chris. Chris is off camera, but he's going to be joining us for this episode. Now today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a tier list on Dana White privilege. Chris, what is Dana White privilege?
Dana White privilege means whether Dana likes you or not, but it's really more than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you agree with me?
Absolutely. So if Dana likes you, he's got your meat in his mouth. If he hates you, then, you know, he's going to do everything in his power to bury you at every possible opportunity.
Pretty much he's gonna make you his and he'll make sure everyone watches.
Yeah, absolutely. And what gives you Dana White privilege? Your number of social media followers, how exciting your finishes are, your fighting style. At the end of the day, winning doesn't give you Dana White privilege.
Nah, as long as you can sell the tickets and you say some bullshit and you're part of the team and you're not part of the team and you do whatever the you want to do, Dana is gonna carry you all the way.
It's kind of weird because, you know, we talk about the UFC, we talk about it being the best fighters fight the best. It's not like boxing where it's corrupt and, you know, they don't all fight each other. But sometimes it feels more like a popularity contest rather than objective numbers and rankings. Look, I see that it's an entertainment business, but also at the same time, it's a sport. So I believe in sport integrity. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be ranking the top 15 of the heavyweight fighters currently in the UFC. And we're going to be ranking them according to what level of privilege they have. So we got S tier, Jon Jones. We got A tier, Dana's side pieces. We got B tier, useful until further notice. We got C tier, future PFL champs. And we got D tier, Arman Tsarukyan.
Now, you guys haven't heard of Chris yet, but I'm telling you, he's got some crispy details. He's like the MMA enthusiastic. He's everything you can name under the sun. So watch out, y'all. You need to hear it to Mr. Chris. So who do we have on number 15?
Before we get to the top 15, I want to do an honorable mention for our boy Tai Tuivasa, who just got kicked out of the Tai Tuivasa. What more is there to say?
no, A tier, no doubt.
A tier without a doubt. Guy loses 5 in a row, and he still gets a main event spot. I honestly don't think it could get any worse than this. All right, number 15, we got Mick Parkin.
I think he's still building recognition, to be honest.
I disagree. After his fight with Marcin Tybura, everybody forgot about him. Nobody's talking about Mick Parkin, no offense. But he's like a, people online would say he's like a Teemu Tuivasa. I don't think that. He's a cool guy.
Teemu Tuivasa is insane,
but I think at this moment, I would have to say B tier.
B tier for Mick Parkin for sure.
Look, I hate to agree with you guys, but it is B tier for me as well.
All right, number 14, we have Valter Walker. Now, Valter Walker is one of the more exciting prospects the UFC has right now. He gets a lot of rub from Johnny, his brother. You know, his heel hook antics is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 finishes by heel hook in a row is insane.
Unprecedented.
He's building a name for himself.
But he's still new, so I would have to put him in the B tier as well.
Agreed.
Okay, moving on to number 13, we have
Mr. Shamil Gaziev.
Shamil Gaziev.
Yes, the blob himself.
Chris, tell us, what do you think about Mr. Shamil Gaziev?
Man, I would actually have to put him on the A tier. He got a main event fight on his UFC debut with Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
Which is crazy.
Who got cut from the UFC, by the way.
Jairzinho. How do you cut Jairzinho, man? All right, moving on. Next, we got Tallison Teixeira. I don't know if you guys saw the fight with Tai Tuivasa, but that was a shit show. By the end of it, they were just huffing and puffing. They couldn't breathe.
Absolute
What the hell was going on? But I still like Tallison. I still think he has a bit of work to do, but I don't think he's getting favors from Dana White. No, I don't think so.
I think the last favor he got from Dana White was a main event fight with Derrick Lewis. Mind you, after knocking out Justin Tafa.
Yeah.
That's the lowest quality win you can ever get.
I mean, he did make Tafa cry.
So what do you guys think?
I would say right now, B. I would put him in B tier for now.
I would put him in B as well.
Yep, I agree.
Next up, we have Mr. Derrick Lewis. My was hot. I think he's an entertaining fighter, but he is on the downturn of his career, so I don't know how much more rub he's gonna get from, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
from Dana.
Absolutely. You know, he is a bit of an inconsistent fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if you look at...
losing streaks, yes, I will agree to that. But, you know, to me, he's one of my personal...
Oh, absolutely.
favorites.
We all love Derrick Lewis. Like, who doesn't love Derrick Lewis, right?
doesn't?
But, you know, he has wins over Alexander Volkov and Curtis Blades.
Which is crazy.
I would actually put him on A tier, but at the lower end of A tier.
I would put him in A tier as well. All right, next up we got Marcin Tybura, the ultimate gatekeeper, the guy who destroys everyone's dreams of getting into the top 5.
Absolutely. Like how many dreams has been crushed by this man? You know, I feel like the UFC just uses him to test up and coming prospects.
Yeah.
Because we can tell, because when he gets a win, he doesn't really fight up. He just gets another up and comer.
I don't see him having much of a future. I don't see him going for the belt anytime soon either.
Yeah.
So I would have to put him in C tier.
Yep, I
For
agree.
that
Yep.
reason.
I would say C tier as well, to be honest.
All right, next we got Ante Delaya. So this is a fighter who doesn't really make a lot of noise, in my opinion, and we know what Dana likes. We know that Dana likes that noise. His fights not really that impressive.
Well, I'd say his debut was great. Like knocking out Marcin Tybura in the first round is a top 5 worthy feat. But however, kind of the issue is the age that he joined UFC.
Yeah.
Imagine like joining UFC at 35. He would have got him into the UFC faster. But here's a fun fact. He was scheduled to fight Ciryl Gane in 2020.
Interesting.
But that fight got canceled. But he never entered the UFC since then. So I would put him at C tier. What do you guys
yes,
think?
I'm definitely leaning towards C tier. Okay, next one is a bit weird. We got Jailton Almeida, who recently got cut. So I'm not sure what's going on with the rankings. He's still on the website.
Moment of silence for our
Yeah.
boy Jailton Almeida. But yeah, after that shit performance against Rizvan, the UFC decided to let him go. His
But
fighting...
he's grappling heavy there.
Yeah, his fighting style doesn't do him much favors, especially with Dana White, the UFC, and the fans.
Yeah.
He's just too effective, but without being flashy. That's what I think.
Well, obviously,
Absolutely.
since he got kicked out, I'm gonna have to put him in D tier. We're
Yep.
gonna have to put him in D tier.
No arguments there.
Right.
Yeah, D for sure.
All right. The next fighter on the list we have is Serghei Spivac.
Dangerous grappler with crazy brutal finishes, to be honest.
Yes.
That's what I think.
But
But the matches I've seen.
but he crumbles under pressure. Like if you've seen his...
true.
And again, he's one of the Russians who don't really talk too much, who don't really make a lot of noise, which really hinders his promotional aspect. And I think Dana White doesn't see him as someone who's meant to be pushed, although he has great skill. I feel like he's someone with great skill. For that reason, I would probably have to put him in C tier. What do you guys think?
I think C tier as well. I feel like, but the only thing is, I feel like one loss is gonna put him into irrelevance. So I'm just kind of worried. So I'll put him in
yeah.
C tier as well.
All right, next on the list, Rizvan Kuniev.
That guy's a wild card. That guy's a wild card.
I would be tempted to put him in A tier because he got a top 5 opponent in Curtis Blades on his debut, but there were more technicalities behind that fight. The UFC made that fight less so for him, but more as a FU to Ngannou. So
Yeah.
let's go with B tier.
I
Do
would
you guys
say B
agree?
tier as well. Yeah, I was gonna say B tier.
B tier for sure.
All right, next at number 5, we have Waldo Cortes Acosta, Mr. Papi, I know black, I Dominican. You know, look, he's a great fighter, but I feel like he gets a lot of favorable matchups these days because of his, background.
Yeah,
I feel like he's getting pushed a little bit too much.
Yep, absolutely. Because I think it's his activity that
Yeah.
won him over by Dana White. But there was a time when Dana White hated him because he ruined one of heavyweight's biggest prospects, Robeles de Spain, just out wrestled him. So I think, Acosta is kind of like that person you met. You don't like him, but he started to grow on you over time and you became friends. And that's how I would describe his relationship with Dana White. So I put him in the A tier for now, I think. Like very low end of
Put
A
him at
tier.
A tier as well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's got a lot of potential.
Okay, next up we got Curtis Blades. Of course, Curtis Blades. is getting older now. Will he taste championship glory again? We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Not so much. And like I don't think the UFC likes this guy.
No, I don't think so.
And let me explain why, right?
But you know what? Statistically, he's one of the best heavyweight wrestler.
Yep, absolutely. But you know, with fans, wrestling is not really a fan-friendly style.
Yep, that's very true.
Yeah, but what really steals the deal for him is he had 2 TKO losses to Ngannou and a brutal KO loss to Derrick Lewis. And guess what the UFC decides after that?
What?
Hey, let's give him Serghei Pavlovich on a 5-fight first-round knockout streak. Yeah, I don't think the UFC likes this guy.
Yeah,
like if I'm gonna be honest with you,
it's gotta be D tier, right? It's gotta be D tier.
Not D tier, but I'd probably say B tier. I'd say B tier.
B tier.
B tier.
I was gonna go D, but if you guys think it's gonna be B, then yeah, let's do B. I think B is a little bit more suitable for this guy.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Serghei Pavlovich, another one of those Russians that, like we spoke about, Spivac. He's not one of those guys that's speaks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. His performances speak for himself.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he got a bit timid after Aspinall slimed him out. So I'd say B tier.
I would say C tier, to be honest with you. I feel like he's not someone that the UFC is trying to promote.
He's terrifying, but I feel like after the first round, if someone can push him past the first round, then he's just like, you get what I mean?
Yeah, because I think what's interesting is Serghei beat Acosta, but now Acosta's pushing for a title shot.
For a title shot.
So I would say no lower than B.
B it is.
Let's do B. Okay, next on the list we have Alexander Volkov. This is someone that I like. I like his fighting style. But it just seems like luck is not on his side.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just an unlucky guy.
His career has been plagued with misfortune. Oh, especially that robbery against Gane.
Yeah.
So blatant. Oh my god. We'll go on to that in the future. But yeah, the part about Volkov is the reason I wouldn't put him any higher than B tier is because like after that robbery loss against Gane, Dana told him, hey, we'll take care of you, right? And in his next fight, he gets Jailton Almeida. So if we'll take care of you means fighting Jailton Almeida, then I don't think he's so favored by the UFC.
I would say B tier as well for
Volkov. I agree.
B tier, Alexander Volkov. Okay, now the number 1 contender right now. I don't know why he's still number 1 contender, Mr. Ciryl Gane. Come on. I don't really have much to say that you guys don't know already. He gets favorable matchup after favorable matchup. He gets to fight for the championship after losing over and over again. Man, this has to be an S tier. This is a blatant S tier.
Absolutely. I have a lot to say about him. Here's a fun fact about Gane. All of his KO and TKO finishes in the UFC were from back of the head shots. So he is a dirty fighter through and through. And his latest eye poke.
Let's put Gane in S tier for now.
S tier for sure.
Okay, last but not least, our main man, the champ himself, Tom Aspinall. Okay, Tom Aspinall was someone who, had potential, had that superstar feel about him, but he started barking up the wrong tree. We know how much Dana loves his boy Jon Jones. We know how much he thinks he's the greatest fighter. And when Tom started to bark up Jon's tree, saying he was gonna retire him, saying that he was gonna, beat him and, ruin his legacy and whatnot, I think it rubbed the UFC the wrong way. And his latest fight obviously ended controversially with an eye poke. In my opinion, I feel like he should have continued as a champion, but that's just me, You guys.
Oh man!
Fun fact: Chris here, he can't get enough of Mr. Tom Aspinall.
Oh man!
Chris, what's your take on Mr. Tom?
My take is, man, shut your untruthfully looking bitch ass. Man.
No, what the fuck,
no one can talk about my boy Aspinall like that. He did not quit. He did not quit.
Tom Aspinall, look, I'm not happy with his latest performance. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like George St. Pierre. I'm not impressed with your performance. But and right now, honestly, I'm gonna have to put him in D tier. He is not liked by the UFC.
I would put him in D tier as well.
Okay, so let us know what you think about this tier list, and we're gonna be doing more MMA content. We're gonna be doing more and more gym content. So let us know what you want to see from us. Until next time, peace.
Peace.